Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, recognizing the value of financial advice since 1937. Putnam Investments, a world of investing. Produced in association with the University of Southern California.
Raise your hand if you thought subprime loans were a thing of the past. Now go ahead and put them right back down again, because General Motors, of which you, me, and our neighbors own 60%, announced today it's back into subprime financing in a very big way. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Reputation Defender, monitoring, protecting, and helping improve your online reputation while deleting personal data from websites that sell it. ReputationDefender.com/market. And by Progressive Insurance, helping people shop for car insurance at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
From the Frank Stanton Studios in Los Angeles, I'm Kai Ryssdal. Good to have you with us on this Thursday. It is the 22nd of July today. And from General Motors this morning came this news, that the once bankrupt, then bailed out, and now recovering automaker is getting back into the car loan business. GM is going to buy an auto financing company called AmeriCredit for $3.5 billion. GM obviously wants to sell more cars. AmeriCredit lends to people who might not usually qualify for a loan to buy those cars. They are a category broadly known as subprime borrowers, and Marketplace's Elisa Roth reminds us that they are still where the money's to be made.
GM is hoping the deal will get more subprime borrowers to buy its vehicles. And GM's not the only one courting buyers with less than perfect credit. Still, we aren't back in 2006, when a pulse was all you needed to get a loan for a house or a car or just to go shopping. Chris Kukla is at the Center for Responsible Lending. He says a lot fewer places are lending money to people with poor credit.
Most of the mainstream institutions have moved away from serving subprime customers because it's perceived as being too risky. They don't want to go out to their investors and their shareholders and say we're doubling down on subprime.
He says the field is wide open for places that do still want to offer loans to people with poor credit. One recent study showed the number of credit card offers made to subprime borrowers doubled this year. Another says subprime loans still make up 40% of the car loan market. He says there's plenty of money to be made.
If there's a couple of people who are willing to lend, believe me, they're going to lend it to you. It's going to come at a very dear price because now your options are limited.
Borrowers might not know that, though. He says subprime loans are often less transparent than prime ones, where you can easily go online and find out what it should cost. The new Consumer Protection Bureau could change that, though at least in the case of car loans, it may not, since car dealers are exempt from its oversight and the final rules haven't actually been written yet. Robert Lawless is a law professor at the University of Illinois, and he says the biggest moneymakers have always been the marginal borrower, the one who has enough money to keep making payments some of the time.
They're making their money off the back end about when these people aren't able to make a monthly payment and then get hit with a fee or the interest rate changes because of the missed payment.
He says those borrowers may default more often, but the higher interest rates and big fees more than make up for that risk. I'm Elisa Roth for Marketplace.
The Senate has given up, for the moment anyway, on a comprehensive climate change bill. Majority Leader Harry Reid said today he's going to bring a straight-ahead energy bill to the floor next week. Offshore drilling reform, efficiency programs, all that kind of stuff. Cap and trade and alternative energy, Reid said, is going to have to wait until after the fall elections. You mentioned U.S. government bonds, and most people think of two things: that they're a good place to earn slow but steady income, and that they're a good place to be when the economy looks rough. Now, think of this for me, would you? Investors have been buying treasuries like they are going out of style. Which brings us to another thing about these bonds. They are often an indicator of the way the economy could go. So does the bond market know something we don't? Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer reports.
The rule on Wall Street has been when investors start buying Treasury bonds in a big way, look out. They're betting the economy could go sour. So is that what's happening now? Mark Vittner says no. He's senior economist at Wells Fargo. He says investors are just jittery, and they're looking for safety in the arms of Uncle Sam.
Growth has weakened over the last few weeks from whatever it did in the second quarter, and people are now a little more concerned.
Recent readings on retail sales and housing.